No, change title. Live dashboard. Nope. There we go. It's up and working. So today we have a A1398 that apparently does not turn on. So let's have a look. Let's plug in our charger. Plug in our charger. Is this on? No, no sound. The lid is stuck together, which is gross. And I see. Do we have backlight? No. So this does not turn on. So what I'm going to do, since I know it doesn't turn on, I'm going to unplug the keyboard, the trackpad, anything that can cause it to turn on, and there's corrosion by a CPU MOSFET. It's okay. I had one CPU that survived that. This is really rough to get out. I wonder if this is all melted. Nope, it's hard. So everything pretty much is unplugged, but yeah, everything is unplugged, but the DC inboard, green light. So the SMC is doing a reset. Nothing there. Let's measure PP bus and our heatsink. Is our heatsink getting warm? Is our heatsink getting warm? Here's our meter. PP bus is 0.5 volts, which means our PP bus is going to V-core most likely from that shorted MOSFET. So let's see. So V-core PP bus is right here. V-core. We have a dead short to V-core, which is no fun. So yeah, next. Let's grab another one. That's my later cue when I'm, what's wrong with this one? Should we do an A1278? What's wrong with this A1278? Mr. Thumbs Down will be here shortly. I wonder who that is. I wonder who Mr. Thumbs Down is. So this is a 2936. Let's see. Plug you in. What do you do? So plug in 2936. This already works. Fan spin. Fan spin. No post. This is also a cue for the cue for later, because fan spin no post is just about as bad. Let's fix one that we just got an SMC in for. So we have an SMC from Trader Jabari. This should be interesting. Okay. We're going to get the SMC out without showing this piece of paper on stream. That's what happens when you have friends that mess with you. But anyway, here's our SMC. And here's our board that needed the SMC. So if you remember the stream from the other day, this one was having fan control issues. So now I have to reball this thing. This is having fan control issues from a dead SMC. So we have an SMC here, brand new SMC stolen off of donor board, and we have to reball this SMC. So let's reball this SMC now. Okay, switch to microscope view. And I'll start shortly. Okay, we have to reball this SMC. 11 watching, so the notifications probably didn't go out as usual. So SMC. A little bit of delamination, but it should work just fine. A little bit of delamination isn't a huge deal. You don't want too much, but a little bit isn't too bad. So let's start. Fume extractor on. Another thing to note, I am applying very light pressure when I am doing this. You don't want to put too much pressure and break the chip. So that is something to note. One little guy in the corner. Think we're mostly good now. All these can accept solder, at least they should be able to. And then we could wick. How many attempts are we in, says Nasera? This is the first attempt. We will see, though. No, stop moving. Stop moving. And there's flux under it. It likes to move. So let me clean that work area. SMC is moving around from flux. Try and clean that up. Maybe we'll get lucky today and it'll be a single one attempt SMC. Maybe, just maybe I'll get lucky today. Looks good enough to me. Clean it off. A Chris Long style rebuilding? I don't know. That's stressing it. I'm not. I may be decent at this, but I'm not Chris Long good at this. I miss Chris Long's streams. I remember 2017. He would always stream. Yeah, he streamed. I liked his streams. My stencil. Of course, I moved my office around. And the stencil has disappeared. The stencil decided, yeah, I don't want to touch a MacBook anymore, and I'm going to run away. Now I have to find that stupid thing. Stencil? Yes. So far, I like this new computer. It took me like 6 hours to build. I mean, I'm slow. And then I couldn't figure out how to get the CPU power connectors in. I kept trying. I spent like 20 minutes trying to plug those stupid things in. There's 2 of them, and I'm used to only having 1. I'm burning the heat away I'm burning the flux and the old solder away with my hot air. So this stencil is nice and warm. Now, I've been trying a new method with these chips. So, if the chip is not moving around, like that's not going to move. It's going to take some force to move. What we can do, actually, I take that back. Once we get the SMC into place, right? And it doesn't move. We don't want it to move. That's the main thing. So whatever we can do, just be really gentle. Let's move the stencil over it, and we don't have to captain tape it. I've done this a few times successfully, where we don't have to captain tape it. You don't need a clamp or anything. As long as the chip doesn't move, you can align this. Right? So after it's all aligned, what you're going to do, just want it as perfect as possible. Just like that. Then, Arnold, I don't have any key. That's why it says activate Windows now. I better not say that here. I promise. Okay. I promise that I will buy a key from an authorized source and not someplace selling it for like $2 on eBay. So yeah, I promise that I will buy my keys from Arnold. I don't worry about it. I'm good. I appreciate the help, but I am good. I just haven't got time, or I haven't had time to re-enter the key after I rebuilt the thing. Okay, I will send you a message then, but I have a key. So I'm going to hold this. Now once this is down, we can't really move the stencil. So put your paste in. Can't stress this enough, do not move the stencil, but once that solder paste is in there, it's kind of going to glue itself to the chip, so it's not that difficult once it's in there. Who are we kidding? I'm going to screw it up, but at least we could try this method. Okay, missed one. Cam is here. Cam is finally practicing micro soldering. I'm happy for Cam. Cam is probably going to bypass where I am. Yeah, a lot of people that I currently know that are getting into this already are loads ahead of where I was. So yeah, there's plenty that are going to bypass me, and I'm very thankful for that, believe it or not. I wish there would be more competent people in this industry that know what they're doing rather than all the nonsense please bros and stuff. Okay. So that paste is in there. Let's lower our temp on the hot air. We're going to go about 325, I like. And our air we want way down, like 10%. I'll start at 10%. We want to start from far away here. Now, Cam, you will overtake me. Trust me. Same with Nasara in a couple of years. She's going to overtake me too in this. That looks good. Let's stop. Let's wait for that to cool a little bit. Alright, those balls should be dry now. Now let's see. How will this look like? Will this look terrible? Will this look good? Alright, let's bet. Terrible or good? Can't get it out of the stencil, which is frustrating. Come out of the stencil. Come on. Yeah, and those microscopes, those microscopes are loads better than what I had when I started. If you look at my channel, like oldest video, you'll see that like magnifying glass I had. That's how I started. That's how I fixed my first board. And why won't this thing come out? These always come out. What the heck? There we go. What do you know? First attempt. All balls are perfect. First attempt. I just gotta clean it a little bit. So see all those little solder balls? We can't really leave those. And I guess you can't. Maybe that toothbrush that I have that's probably disappeared by now. My office is like a black hole. Stuff just disappears. It goes away. It's nowhere to be found. Oh well. I gotta clean the back room in this office. It looks terrible. The front room looks terrible, but the back room looks even worse. I made a big mess in the store last night building that computer. I'm happy though. I mean, here's the thing. I will make sure my customers' computers are 100% stable, running perfectly before I send them back. But my own stuff freezes randomly, has failing drives. I tend to, if it's my own, I just don't care about it, you know? My phone, the phone I use for work, the fingerprint reader is dead in it. It doesn't work, and then the thing restarts randomly, it crashes randomly. Yeah, it's like my own stuff is terrible. When you start fixing your stuff, you just lose kind of interest in fixing your own stuff. I wish I knew where that toothbrush is, because that kind of helps in scrubbing those solder balls off. Maybe I will look for it. Oh, here it is. I found it. Tim, I can fix your phone. It's a Kyocera waterproof something or other. It's still under warranty until September, and I've been saying I need to bring it in for warranty like for over a year. I've been saying that. That's clean enough, I think. Perfect SMC. Look at that. Cam, how is the fingerprint sensor from a bad charge port? I didn't know it could do that. I don't know. You know more about phones than I do. I don't want an S10. S10 is, yeah, screw that. I don't care enough about... So building a decent computer for the office was a stretch for me. I mean, it's like I didn't want to do it for the longest time. Then I think, you know, why am I being so cheap with it? Why is my computer the worst one in the whole shop, you know? It just makes no sense, so... And it's not like I can't afford to build a new one. It's just I didn't want to, you know? Okay, so SMC, old SMC, let's rip this off. Now the one I have is excellent. Everyone says, well, the R7 1700 is slow. It's like, are you crazy? I can't believe people would say that CPU is slow. That CPU is far from being slow. It's like if I get a more expensive one, I'm just wasting money. I'm never going to need the performance of the more expensive ones. The 1700 is perfect. It's 8 cores, 16 threads, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Do need another monitor though. I need 2 monitors, 2 27-inch monitors, then I'll be set, but... I was trying to edit video on this thing the other night when I uploaded the two videos I just did about burnout, and then the dead CPU one, or not the fixed CPU one. And this thing, the other one was like edit video and then you switch tabs to Chrome, and it is way too slow. So when encoding, so I just came in the next morning. It's like, okay, I want to do better videos, so you know what? Let's go buy a new one. I had the board and the CPU, I just didn't have the rest of the stuff, so I just went yesterday, went and got power supply, RAM, water cooler, and then a case, but the case I got was really lousy, so I just ended up using a case that I had and kind of fixed it up a little bit. Alright, now the issue with this board was fan control. It had no fan control. It was just, the fan was just locked at max all the time. So, let's see if that's fixed. I would be happy if this was fixed. Okay, so what this fan should do is go slow and then fast. So it should go fast after a while because sensors. So let's see what this does. So you should be able to tell how fast this is moving. Let's plug it in. I mean, there isn't much more than the SMC unless there's a broken trace. And what do you know? It wasn't the darn SMC. Well, what else could it be then? It's not the fan. We've tried a fan. So that SMC is actually fine. Okay, so this doesn't make much sense at all. Alright, so now we have a bigger problem. So there, I changed an SMC for nothing, which is just extremely sad. But that circuit, how? Could the fan be dead? I tried another fan. I remember trying another fan. Let's try another fan. I don't know. Could the fan... No, that doesn't make sense. It really makes no sense to me. We changed this guy. Let's try a different fan. Do I have a fan? Let me grab a fan. It's not EFI chip. At least I don't think so. The EFI isn't going to cause the fan to spin like that. I guess it actually could. You know what? Actually, if someone messed with this, because the circuit was fine. We checked the circuit, but it's being commanded to max. The BIOS does not really control the fan spin. That's all on SMC. So what I could do, I could try another one of these. I don't think the BIOS has anything to do with fan control on these boards. I could be wrong. But I want to check the circuit one more time Let's... Alright, so Piranov also agrees BIOS. That's okay. I will try a different BIOS. I'm just going to take one off of a donor board because that shouldn't cause it to go. With that gone, it should still work, okay? What board is that? Is that a 00165? Is it? Yes. Okay, looks like all my 00165s have the BIOS off of them, which is pretty typical. Pure enough, it's not a sensor issue because the fan has no control whatsoever. It's a circuit issue. It's being commanded on PWM to be at max, but I don't know why that's happening. It's more of a control issue. If it was EFI, I wouldn't think it would go 100%. Let's look at this circuit one more time, just in case I'm missing something. So, I'm going to replace all these resistors. The resistors may measure okay, but maybe they're not okay. So if I do that, I just eliminate a variable. You never know if the resistor is doing something really funny. One second here. Okay, I just hit my phone. Oh well. Thank you, Arnold, for that. It's not SMC bypass, right? You know what, Piernov? That is a very good idea. You may be 100% correct about that because SMC bypass would do that. Let's put it in the enclosure. That actually makes sense because what the customer said was they did an SMC reset, and doing an SMC reset makes it go away. So now maybe there's leakage on SMC on off L. If there's leakage on SMC on off L, then that would cause that. So if it's in SMC bypass, the green light should be that. Won't that be stuck orange? It won't go to green, or will it have no light? I'm not sure. And where'd I put the screws for this one? Right here. I think so too, Pirnov. I think it goes straight to orange. Green. Orange. Alright, let's try an SMC reset. Let's see what an SMC reset does. Oh, would help if I plugged in the keyboard. Let's try this again with our keyboard plugged in. Okay, SMC reset, did nothing. Our CPU is getting warm as if it's throttled. And yes, that is a close-up of the filthy LCD. Let's put an SSD in it. Does it go slow? Wish I had ASD for this model. That really makes no sense. I don't know. Alright, let's see what it does. Want to see if it's acting slow. Okay, so it boots into the OS. We don't have trackpad function, which is a little bit odd, even though we have the trackpad plugged in. Our keyboard works, so we know USB is working. Let's plug in a battery. Does it see the battery? It sees the battery. It runs off the battery. Yeah, this is really bizarre. Hmm. So, the D key, yeah, Arnold, that won't really tell us much. It'll just say bring it to Apple basically, but we can see if that'll pull an error. My guess, it's only going to say there's an issue with the fan. So, but we can try that. My guess is what it's going to say is there's an issue with the fan. Let me try that though, and let's just see what it says. I almost wonder if there's leakage on SMC on-off L and it is going into bypass, but I don't know on MagSafe 2 what these will do. I'm really not sure, especially on this model. Who knows? And now you're dead. There we go. You're booting. Okay, now trackpad is working fine. It's not lagging or anything. So let's see. It appears to be stuck. Nope, it's not stuck. Hurry up. There may be an issue with the fan. No kidding. Okay. So, you know what? Let me try this. Let me see if I can actually control the fan with max fan control or something like that. So let's grab an SSD. That's what I'm curious. Can I control the fan manually? If I can control the fan manually, then there is a firmware issue somewhere. So probably ME region. But if I can't control the fan manually, that would indicate a circuit issue. So let's boot in. Okay. Oh wow. I'm a moron. I need to move this bench out. So what I did was the scope. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oh well. I have to move this bench out a little bit because the scope is hitting the power bar. So let me move this out just a little bit. Yeah, whatever. So this is going to boot into the OS in a second here. Maybe not. Maybe it won't boot into the OS. So you don't want to boot into an SSD either. There we go. TCRS test disk. To the people that are going to complain about, yes, you're showing your password, I absolutely am. The password is also written on the front of the store window. It is used for nothing else but that test disk. Okay, so Let's just check our sensors real quick. Let's see if we have... heat pipe outgoing air, 129 Celsius. Heat pipe outgoing air, which is fin stack sensor, right? It's reading the tach, right? Heat pipe outgoing air is fin stack sensor. I think. I don't know on the 2015 Air if that's normal, but what I kind of think is going on is it may actually be reading 129 Celsius from the bad I/O board and causing that. Because that's where I think the heat pipe sensor is. No, Arnold, it's not. It's not actually reading 129. That means the sensor's not reading. So let me try a different I/O board, just for the heck of it. Let's try a different I/O board. One of these has a bad fin stack sensor. Either way, if the sensor is reading okay, it shouldn't matter. I need a haircut, seriously. My hair is like, I'm looking at the stream. That's terrible. I'll go this weekend. No change there. Alright, let's go back to seeing if I have fan control. What is going on with typing today? What do you mean? What is going on with typing today? I was replying to something. What's my CPU temp at? What is my CPU temp at? It's at 7.2% load, which is incredible. Task manager, CPU. .30 Celsius. It's still booting. Do you have 4K camera system set up? No, I do not. I don't know if heat pipe outgoing is even a sensor, but I don't think it would be max like that. I kind of think that's just not doesn't exist. Need to plug in a Wi-Fi antenna. I'm getting a different camera mount so the angle will be better. I don't like how it's so high. I want it a little bit lower. So we're going to download something called Max Fan Control. And if I can control the fan through that, then it's firmware issue. If I can't, then it's going to be circuit issue. This is in 1080p. This isn't behaving like it has a sensor issue. This feels perfectly quick. Greg, Lenovo should sell those. Let's give it a second. All the sensors here read fine. Okay, I just commanded it to 1200 RPM. And it did not go down. So this is a circuit issue. It is an issue on the PWM line. So that tells me something. Okay, so now we have an issue on the PWM line. 1 second. Mr. Thumbs Down arrived. I wonder who that is, seriously. I really wonder who that is. I am getting a little bit hungry, so I may be stopping for lunch here shortly. Stop for lunch or fix MacBook. Now, food is optional. Now I have to stop. Yeah, like the past couple days I've been waiting until yeah, I have a very bad habit of waiting to eat until I start feeling extremely lightheaded, and that's probably not a good habit to have. So let me move this microscope back the way it's supposed to be. Rubs, oh well. Okay. So, circuit issue. It could there's very few possibilities at this point since it's a fairly simple circuit, but let's go over that. Um Give me 1 second, guys. I'm multitasking kind of. Okay. So, let's show the schematic real quick. Let me hide a few things first. Okay. So, the schematic on this circuit. So, let's... where's display capture? Add display capture. Display capture. Okay, there we go. So, let's go over this. Here's our fan circuit. Here's our connector. Here's where the fan plugs in. It's a simple circuit. We have 5 VSO. Okay, this is our main supply voltage. We have the tack line. This is going to be the fan reporting to the SMC what value it is, and then we have the PWM, which the PWM is going to be this is going to command the fan how fast to spin. Then we have ground, of course. So we have a little transistor right here. That's Q6060. Now what this is going to do is take PB3V3SO and SMC fan control, and this line is going to switch and output a PWM signal. Now, what's kind of strange here, and I will show you guys in a second here, on fan PWM. Now, let's check voltage right here again on the oscilloscope. I'm curious what this is going to be. So let's check voltage there real quick. So we know this is a circuit issue now, because even if it was ME, it should let us control the fan. Alright, sorry again. So, voltage right here on the oscilloscope. Let's plug this thing in. Now, you know what? Here's a possibility. I want to get this right when it turns on, because there's a possibility that that line is going to be different because it may be commanding the fan to spin and it's not actually happening. Almost wondering if 5 volts is leaking there. So, here's our SMC line, right? So that's not shorting anything. Just plug this in real quick. As soon as I get fan spin. And that, I can't really show you guys on the oscilloscope, but that's 3.3 volts, and I could see the pulses of how fast it's supposed to be. So the oscilloscope is telling me the SMC is sending the right signal to there. I wish I could show that. You know what, let me pull the camera down, because I want to teach a little bit. So. There's our scope, right? Here's our scope. That's our PWM line now. See these guys right here? It is pulsing. So we know we have communication there. But if we know we have that, now let's see. So that's our SMC control line. No, not that. PP3V3SO fan, that should of course be 3.3 volts. Let's see. Yep, that's normal. Or is it? Well, we're not on ground very well. But that should be 3.3 volts exact. No, that's getting that same. That same nonsense. Let's see. That's 3.3 volts. Now what is this? That's a little bit different. Okay. So this is a little bit confusing here. Switch back to microscope. This one is honestly really confusing me, because I know we have a circuit issue, but I don't know what is causing our circuit issue. So, let's look at the schematic again and let me just think about it. I'm going to use my brain. I should get something to eat soon because I'm starting to feel like I need to eat something. I believe a close call from the cell phone can cause that, maybe. So, back to schematic. Display capture. So, here's our schematic right here. So, we have... This is our tack line. We know this is working because we have the... It's reading the RPM just fine. We know R6065 is fine. The input, SMC fan 0 control. We know we have voltage here. We think we know this is pulsing, right? Fan RT PWM is going right here. So what this should be, this is 3V3SO right here, right? So pin 1 of Q6060. I want to check that, and I want to check R6061 as well. So pin 1 of Q6060 and R6061. Now, this is a no stuff logic gate, so we don't even worry about this. It's going to be taking PP3V3SO, which is a 3-volt line, the no stuff capacitor, and so we're getting 3V3SO. It's going to go through a 0 ohm resistor, which is just for current limiting in case the fan explodes or whatever. And that's going to go here. Now, what we should have here, I know we have 5 volts here, and this is what I don't understand. How do we have 5 volts here without leakage? Now, one thing is right here, we have 5VSO going to this no stuff logic gate. Now, we know there's nothing there. So I don't understand how we're getting 5 volts here. We have 3 volts in, we have 3 volts in. I don't understand that unless it's being pulled up internally. I don't know. Or it's possible that there is a short somewhere here that is shorting 5VSO direct to the fan motor control and causing that to be at max. We replace this, we know it's not this. So that's what I don't understand. So let's go back over to the microscope and let's start measuring some stuff. Oh, I'm tired. So I just want to measure on my meter real quick what we get on each pin. So we have 4.65 volts on our tack line coming into this transistor, which is right here. We have 0.95, huh? Whoa. I just touched that and the thing shut off. Oops, I killed it. There we go, fan spin. So right here, 3 volts. 0.95 volts. Now okay, so 0.95 volts on that resistor. And we should have 3 volts there. Without 3 volts there, it's not going to get the pull up for our fan control. This resistor is blown. It's kind of hard. Let's clip that down because the fan keeps shutting off every time I touch the board because the cable is a little bit funny. Alright, so our fan just shut off again. But if I touch that connector, it turns right back on. Alright, what the heck happened? 4 volts. One volt, 3 volt. That resistor's bad. So it is a circuit issue. And I got trolled by a darn resistor all this time and even changed an SMC over it. Yeah, look at that resistor. I can see it right now. I can see it. There's a crack in it. So I thought I replaced that resistor. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just replaced the FET. It's the pull-up resist. No, maybe not. Maybe that's normal. Maybe that's normal. Whatever. It's sideways, but it'll work for now. I could always make it pretty later. And the fan is still running fast. We have 3.3 volts on one side. We had that. Okay. I need food, so I'm out of here. I'm hungry. So, I will be back probably tomorrow, who knows when. But thank you for watching.